All right, cool. So let's invite Leila Layzell on the podcast. Hey.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
Oh,
Thank you so much for joining us.
No problem. It's my pleasure.
You came an awful long way, man. How was the trip?
Do you know what? I get really travel sick. So a drive for me, when it's far, is just never fun. I try and take like a little ginger capsule before, but then it always gets stuck in my throat. So it's like I either have to cope with the travel sickness or I have to cope with the acid reflux.
Wow, bad mix. Do you have the window open like
Yeah,
sometimes?
I'm literally like hanging out the window trying not to die.
Try not to scare other people driving past as well.
And I'm like a dog.
I can't imagine it was easy to find because obviously when you look on the outside, it just looks crazy.
I thought I was going to get murdered.
Wow.
I honestly thought I was going to get kidnapped. My friend was like, right, if you don't text me by 5:30, we're calling the police.
These times
the
when you're
police would have shut down this whole operation.
Wow, brilliant.
And us included.
Yeah, us included, fam. Us included.
But luckily it was fine.
It's fine. We're not killers. It's fine.
Thank goodness.
So Leila, how's life been treating you recently? What you been up to, man? Because I know you're in abundance. You're up to all sorts of crazy stuff on the web.
Yeah, do you know, I feel like my life is just crazy. I never know what the next day is going to look like, which is just great. So more recently, it was Fight Week for Misfits, which is where I tend to do a lot of my content.
Okay.
So that was a crazy week for me. I was like running around, getting all my interviews, and it's always a very hectic week.
Yeah,
So I've been busy.
I can imagine, man. I can imagine because performing at events, like, it isn't easy. You have to go from person to person. You have to, sometimes you got to do your last minute research. I know you know stuff about this because I've done that, like festivals and stuff, and you've had a crazy week as well when it comes to hosting.
Yeah, man. Honestly, it's been good though. I just love the environment. Everyone's just on job. Everything's like moving and stuff like that.
I feel like everyone's always on such good vibes as well. And then even though I find it sometimes quite hard with my social battery, like being in those kind of situations where you're having to network and mingle and meet loads of new people. But when everyone else is like really happy to be there and on good vibes, it definitely helps me like keep my energy up.
Yeah, no, definitely. I
always need like a week to recover after.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like 1-2 days of like madness and then you're not going to see me. For,
like, I'm like
5 days.
isolating.
My friends are like, what happened?
Go back into lockdown.
Yeah. For a recovery time.
Yes. Obviously, welcome to Naitram Live. It's been such a pleasure
you.
to have you on. Congrats on getting 300k followers, by the way, on TikTok.
Thank
That's not
you.
easy. I struggled to get 100, bruv.
Oh, do you know what? I think because I see so many people that have got like millions, to me, it just doesn't seem like a big deal. But then I also have to remember, like, if you think about 300,000 people in a room, that's quite a lot.
Yeah, man.
That is a lot of people.
That's a couple
big room.
stadiums when you think about it.
Yeah,
You know
it's still a lot.
Yeah.
So obviously, you know, you graduated, was it psychology? In Newcastle, you know, just after COVID.
Yes.
And obviously you lived in Manchester for a bit and you recently moved to London. Obviously you're doing your own thing now.
Yeah.
What was life like growing up for you? And what made you come from psychology to going into content creation?
Yeah, I feel like I've just been kind of all over the place. Do you know what? I always say I had like a golden childhood. I grew up in York, which is just, it's one of the most beautiful cities. I swear it's been named like one of the best cities in like Europe or something. It's very historical. It's kind of got like a busy city feel, but it's still quite small and everything's like very local. And it's just a very wholesome place to like raise a family. So I had like a really great childhood. I was always very academic. I always did like really well in school. And I think I do have quite like a photographic memory. So I think I always say I don't have common sense, but I can do well on tests because I've got a good memory. Like I could literally memorize like my entire GCSEs the night before and then get an A star. Like I guess I was just very lucky in that way, but I wouldn't say that I was necessarily like super smart. In terms of like more general intelligence. So yeah, I was just like academic, had a good memory. So yeah, school was like pretty easy for me. I had like some really good friends there. Like didn't really go through like anything too difficult. I got like bullied a little bit in school. But I just always knew that I was that bitch. I knew that they were just jealous of me. And even like the teachers would say it to me, like, oh, don't worry, like they're just jealous of you. And I was like, yeah, do you know what they are?
Oh, I thought they were going to call you that.
Oh no. The teacher comes over like, Leila, you had that. But I think because I was like obviously like academic, I did well at school. I was like I was a dancer. I was like in really good shape. I was like really sporty. I was like good at a lot of different things. I think that just naturally like did attract people to be jealous. And then I even had a girl actually steal my geography coursework. And I had to do it all again. Like there was just some crazy stuff that people would do to me at school. They would like write stuff online about me, but I never ever retaliated. I always just tried to like be kind. And I had my friends that stuck by me. So it just didn't really affect me as much as maybe like bullying does to other people. I don't know. But yeah, so I was able to deal with it. And then, I did college and then went off to university. College was like, I guess, a lot more difficult. I found like the academic side of things, it was a lot harder than GCSE. Like you couldn't just revise the night before and then do well. Like I had to like grind, like put in a lot of work. And I was like really, really happy that I did get the grades to go to uni.
Yeah, I had to cheat in some of my A levels, man. It was too difficult. I had to cheat my ICT.
Oh my God.
It was like, because it was like mostly coursework. It had the same, what do you call it, structure as the year above. So I just copied off them from the year above and then got my A in it. So
fair enough.
Yeah. You've got to do what you've got to do.
No.
Like the thing is, it really frustrated me because it's like they're not actually testing you. It goes back to what I said about having a good memory. They're not testing me on how intelligent I am and how well I know the subject. They're testing me on how much I can put into my brain and then regurgitate on a piece of paper. Like I don't know anything really about ancient history, yet that was a subject that I did and got an A in. So it's like, what was the point of it? It's literally just to like write it all down on a piece of paper and then it's just gone from your brain as soon as you finish the exam.
Was it uni where you realized that you wanted to pursue content creation? What was the first starting point of like making those videos? Was it at uni? Was it after uni?
Do you know what? I feel like ever since, this is like, so I find this like so fascinating and it makes sense as to why I'm doing what I'm doing now. But when I was like, I don't know, 10, 11 years old. I can't remember how old I was, but basically I got an iPhone for like my birthday or something. I was like one of the first kids like in the school to get one. And I used to love taking all the pictures of like everybody. We would take pictures at school, we would take pictures at parties and like things after school. I was always taking pictures of everyone. And I don't know if you remember like the 2010 Facebook days, but I used to like spend like 3 hours getting ready and taking a new profile picture on like my iPhone and putting it in like PicMonkey and doing all the editing. And I don't know, at the time I didn't really think anything of it, but I really enjoyed that like creative process of doing that. So it kind of makes sense now that content creation is something that I do and that I really enjoy because it's been something that I've always done. I would upload like all the photos of me and my friends to like the Facebook albums and you would call it like a really cringy like caption of a song. Those 2010 days were lit with like MSN and Facebook. I used to love that. So I guess I've always kind of been passionate about the kind of photography and like creative side of that. But I didn't start really like taking it seriously or making content till after uni. It was never really something that I did while I was studying. Yeah.
That's how it always starts though, isn't it? Just making content for fun. Like I did YouTube back in the day. What were you doing?
I don't even know. I was just doing like little videos, like silly videos. Like honestly, if TikTok was back then when we were kids and growing up,
viral.
Listen, that was my day-to-day life. Like karaoke, stupid videos, like just being silly.
Yeah, like that's, I used to really enjoy doing that with my friends as well, like on my laptop. You know, when it was like the HP, like massive laptops before we had MacBooks. Yeah. They used to have like the webcam with like all the effects. Yeah. I used to love doing those videos. That was like a hobby. So it's like, it actually makes me feel really happy that I've kind of grown up doing that and that was something I enjoyed and now I do it for a job. Yeah. That's why it's like I was always meant to do it.
Yeah, man. So when you came out of uni, then you started creating content. Yeah. Like full-time, part-time. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I was like trying to kind of make it happen for myself, I guess. And I was like doing like modeling and like little odd jobs on the side. But I definitely didn't really start to gain success from it for like a couple of years. Like I remember I was literally so broke when I came out of uni, and with psychology I didn't realize, right, I feel like I've been sold a lie, okay, because they tell you go to uni and then you'll get a good job after. That couldn't be further from the truth.
Honey,
with psychology.
we all have. Yeah.
Like they literally lied to me and put me in like 27 grand's worth of debt, so thanks for that. But yeah, so after I came out of uni, I was like, well, what the hell am I going to do? To get a job in psychology, you have to have experience. I didn't have any experience. It was lockdown. They basically, to be a doctor in psychology, so to like actually be a psychologist, you have to have a doctorate, which is 3 more years of study. To even get on that course, you have to do a year's work as an assistant psychologist. To get an assistant psychologist role, you have to do like loads of volunteering, loads of like minimum wage, mental health nurse kind of jobs that are really, really difficult. Amazing for people that do them. And I fully take my hat off to them, but that's not something that I would be able to cope with.
Long, man.
And the amount they get paid as well is just disgusting.
30, 40k in it, which ain't like, worth the time.
Yeah, so it's like wage, to even become an actual psychologist, I'd be like, what, 40 years old before I'm on decent money? No, and I just kind of had to like take a step back and be like, no, like this actually isn't the path that I want to go down. But I was broke, so I would literally order like clothes online, take pictures in them, and then like send them back.
I love your transparency. you, because we've all done that once. Yeah. But I love how you're like, yeah, that was a week to week. Like, I love it.
I was too broke to be able to afford to like buy new clothes every week and be like this fashion influencer that I wanted to be. I would go out on the street with my tripod by myself, have people like looking at me. This was when I was probably grinding more than ever, which is like the stuff that no one will see. Like, I literally don't even have those photos on my Instagram anymore because I just think they were so bad now. But that was when I was like probably working the hardest and having to do the most, when I was just first starting out and not really getting anywhere.
Yeah, definitely. No, I love hearing people's stories, like when they started and stuff like that. But that, you know, coming out of uni, feeling like you're broke is a real thing.
Oh my God, it was humbling.
Yeah.
When I graduated, I was $2,000 in my overdraft.
Oh my God,
and I was working at the co-op. It was peak, bro. Yeah. It was peak. And then when COVID happened, I was stacking shelves while all my mates were on furlough because they had office jobs and they were getting paid more than me whilst I was on furlough. Then I got sacked 2 months later for accidentally taking a ready meal. Don't even do that. But it was stress. It was stress. But you're right though. Like when you graduate from uni, no matter what degree, I guess, it's kind of hard to get a graduate scheme job. Definitely. Or
you think you're just going to come out and be on 30k?
Pretty
like
much.
That's the lie that you're sold with it. And it's like, I don't even use my degree for anything now. I like having it because it's a bit of a flex. I'm an educated woman, but there's just no point in even really having it.
Yeah. No, but I believe, because I'm a Christian and I believe God takes you down certain paths, and like you might go back into that one day, like part-time, or like you said, you want to do you have to do voluntary work. You could come up, be making so much money off your content creation, become the presenter that you said, you know, before we started that you wanted to become, and then go and do that as well. Do you know what I mean? Like I get that it's like, oh, I'm mad because why did I do a uni degree? But it could like be useful in the future. You never know, you know, you could be presenting like some criminals. Psychology show.
No, do you know what you're
like
so
Baby
right.
Reindeer spin-off.
Like a female Dr. Phil kind of shit.
No, for real.
Do you know what? That's always been like my
could.
dream in my head, to have like my own like psychology related like talk show. But yeah, I think I'm saving it for like a midlife crisis when I'll go back into psychology.
Okay, let's aim for the show. Yeah. And then if the midlife crisis happens, it happens.
Yeah.
Talk to us what it's like moving cities, because you grew up in York, you lived in Newcastle doing uni, you've been in Manchester a couple of years, and now you're in London, you know what I'm saying, the capital and that. Yeah, run me through with that. What's life been like moving from city to city, but now pursuing your career in London where it's full of opportunity, despite its expense? Yeah,
that's a great question. I feel like there's a lot of people that I see on like Facebook that are from my hometown, and, you know, they're with their childhood sweetheart, they get a house together, they're having kids, they get a dog, they get married. And part of me feels so nostalgic for like that life of like getting a mortgage and kind of like taking that, you know, that kind of standard route that like most people take, which there is nothing wrong with that at all. Like some people are so happy doing that. But I think I just always knew that I wanted to do something different. I wanted to take a different path. So for me, it was just never in my nature to like stay where I grew up, even though I love it there and I think it is a beautiful city. I just knew that I wanted to get out and not necessarily see like the world, because I haven't really traveled that much, but just live in different places, even within the UK. Like I get such itchy feet. I don't think I've ever stayed in an apartment for more than a year. So I've moved every single year since I was 18 to live in a different apartment, because I just like change. I think change is so good for me personally. It helps me grow. It helps me gain new perspective on things. And I can say every single year I have grown and evolved as a person. And I think part of that has to do with not being so attached to one place and feeling more free to just move around.
Yeah, 100%. I couldn't agree more, even though I've lived in Manny for 8 years. But I liked moving there just because obviously as a southerner, it's just different. The North's now to party, it's a vibe, there's a scene there. But I'm at this stage now where it's like, I want to start taking my opportunities down to London as well.
Yeah, definitely. No, I really resonate with your story as well, because I've grown up in a small town.
Yeah.
So moving to London, like what shocked you about London? What was a good thing, and then what shocked you as well?
Do you know what? I'm going to have to start with the bad. So 3 days after I moved here, I got pickpocketed on Oxford Street, and I got my phone stolen. And as a content creator...
Welcome to London!
I remember you told me that briefly as well.
Yeah. So it was really stressful, because obviously as a content creator, my whole livelihood is kind of on that phone. And it's in China right now, so I hope the phone is doing well. I get text got text from a woman in China asking me to like unlock it and stuff. They tried to like guilt trip me. She was like, oh, I've just bought it for my daughter. And then they tried to blackmail me and said they were going to sell my information on the dark web.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
What kind of information?
Like bank details and things like that. But I think they're just, I think they're lying a little bit. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was a great welcome to London. So now, oh my God, I'm just always so aware. It's kind of a good thing that it happened, because now I will never have my phone in my pocket. I'll never have my phone out.
I need to start doing that. I'm literally around, because I'm not a Londoner as well. I'm just around like, hey guys, like all the time. And my friends are like...
I'm too scared to do that,
Yeah.
man. I've seen documentaries of like man them on mopeds and that,
Yeah,
like, just
yeah,
taking it.
yeah.
And he's like, he's like,
Oh my
you
God,
can use
yeah.
my baby, bruv. And he just takes it.
My
Yeah.
toxic trait is I think that I could chase after them. I'd be
Yeah,
like,
have you seen that video of that girl, the blonde girl that was like, no, come back? And it was like,
that would be me, honestly, that would be me. But yeah, so I think in terms of safety, that's something that shocked me
Yeah,
here. Like,
sure.
I have to be a lot more aware of my surroundings, a lot more careful with where I'm going. Another bad thing as well, like, people here are rude. Like, there's a lot of rude people here. And you know what? The time when people are most rude to me, it's usually grown men when I'm on a dog walk. I have a little chihuahua. So I don't know whether, if I had like a Great Dane or like a German Shepherd, maybe they wouldn't be doing this. But a lot of like grown men, when I'm on a dog walk, will like harass me.
Really?
And that's the time when I get it the most.
In what way though? Like, what words are used?
It's not necessarily words, but I had a guy recently, for example. So there's an area of the park that's like fenced off and it says dogs must be kept on a lead. I always have my dog on a lead. And he came over to me in the park. Bearing in mind, 2 security guards had just walked past me and smiled. He came over to me in the park and started screaming at me that I wasn't allowed dogs in there. And I was like, oh no, like, it's just because dogs have to be on a lead. It's not that they're not allowed in here, they just have to be on a lead. There was a sign right outside the park, and no, he was like screaming at me, and I just started crying.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, no, like, dogs
One of
are
your 5
actually
times a
allowed
day?
in here. And yeah, one of my 5 times a day. And then we got outside of the park, and I was like, but look at the sign.
Yeah,
like, dogs
wow.
just have to be on a lead, which mine is. And just things like that always happen when I'm on a dog walk with my chihuahua. Yeah.
Wow, your
I need
chihuahua
like a-
is like trying to beef
I don't know if
everyone
my temper- I don't know if my
in the
temper can
spirit.
handle that,
Like,
man.
No.
yeah, like I said, I'm a woman of God, but you're not gonna come up to me telling me about my dog when I'm doing the right
Oh my
thing.
God.
Like we will go. Like one of us will die.
If
No,
it's about my dog, if it's about my dog, like, you best believe that I'm going to start on you as
yeah,
well.
that's
'cause
weird though.
If it was just me, like, I don't really care. But if you try and like say anything to my dog, that's it. All hell will break loose. I'm not having that. But
I'm a chihuahua.
I know, but I just feel like if I had like a boyfriend with me, or if I had like a huge like menacing dog, it's like, would they come over and say anything?
Maybe it's London, innit? You meet some characters, man.
But yeah, I've just found that people here just can be like very rude. But
Good
there's
thing.
also people that can be nice as well. And there's a lot of like weirdos here, but I kind of vibe with it. You know, when people would just be like walking down the street singing, it kind of makes me want to do the same thing. And it just makes me be on like this good vibe, this good energy, because no one around you actually cares here.
Yeah, that's the thing. No, I love it for the same reasons. Like it's
Yeah.
fast paced, people are creative. There's a
Yeah.
community here, definitely.
It's just
You find
spenny
there's-
though, innit?
Yeah. Oh, so expensive.
Yeah. Oh my God, don't even get me
Like,
started.
my rent in Manny's like, for like everything, it's like $450 for like everything in it. And I live in like
When
a
he told
decent-
me this, I was
live in a
like,
decent-
where do
want to
you-
know how much
yeah, no, bro,
mine
it's like a
is.
grand, bro.
I was like, where do you live then? Do you know what I mean? Like 450 is like basement, like garage.
I literally have a 1 bed and it's £3,000 a month.
Aye.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
different still.
That's the
rough.
second
It's
of
rough.
the 5 times that you cry in a day. $3,000 a month.
Yeah.
yeah.
Honestly, sometimes I just have to stay home so I can enjoy my rent.
Yeah,
I'm not coming out. I'm staying in, making the most of this.
That's crazy. Oh.
I know.
Must be a nice apartment block though for free.
Do you know what it is? And I am like really grateful, and it is beautiful. But for a 1 bed, and also I like looked at so many apartments that were like lower prices. But I think when you're self-employed, it's really, really difficult to get accepted on one. So this was kind of like the best option that I could get for the price,
Yeah,
which is still a terrible deal, which just tells you everything you need to know about being self-employed and trying to rent an apartment.
That's the peak thing though about the housing crisis though as well. In addition to that as well, because I hear like some London like landlords, they'll charge you like 4 months deposit.
No,
Oh,
it's
I had to
something
pay
crazy.
6 months up front.
I'm hearing 12
Wait.
from
Yeah,
everyone.
I was
A
lucky.
year.
I was
What's 6
lucky
times
to be
3?
able
Is
to
that-
pay
that's
6.
Is that 12 bags?
Someone, I kept getting beat out on apartments
It's more than
by
that.
people offering to pay 2 years up front.
Yeah, crazy.
It took me 4 months to get an apartment here. It was hell.
Wow.
It was hell.
All right, cool. Let's talk about the dating scene in London then. How has it been? Because I know a lot of your content is around dating, different things, which we
Yeah.
love.
The Riz vids, kiss and slap.
Yeah, all of that. So what made you want to start content like this
Yeah.
in the beginning? Have you been doing that from the start, or have you gone into that more recently?
So I think I kind of started in a very similar place to a lot of people on TikTok. Back in the day, a few years ago, you could go viral a lot more easily by kind of just using trending sounds, like doing the dances, doing videos that were quite like low effort that you could film at home, and you didn't really have to show much personality or like talk in them. But then I feel like it kind of got to a point, for me anyway, maybe a year ago, where they just stopped working. I was sat there thinking for ages because I felt so lost with content. I didn't know what to do. My old stuff wasn't working. And I was like scrolling the For You page one day, and I saw a girl in America, and she was doing, I guess, what I would call like Riz videos. I think she was called like Girl Kira. That was her name.
Classic.
Yeah, and I just thought it was so cool. She would like go up to guys and ask them the questions like kiss or slap, and she would like flirt with them. And I was like, oh, that's really interesting. But I had no idea like how doing a street interview would logistically work. Like I had no idea about that style of content. I'd never done it before. And I think just shortly after I'd like seen her page and thought that it was cool, I got invited to a boxing event, which was for Misfits. Because some of my friends, I'd been to a few of the fights before, and I'd made friends with some of the fighters, and they said, oh, we've got like a spare hotel room. This was in Telford at the Telford fight. And they said, you know, you're welcome to like stay in it and come and see what Fight Week's about. So I was like, do you know what, this could be really fun, and maybe I could like get some content. And then it clicked for me, and I was like, oh my god, what if I did interviews and interviewed the fighters? But because I'd seen other guys do like regular interviews for the fighters and ask kind of professional questions, but I was never into boxing in that way where I knew all the technicalities. So I was like, oh my god, what if I took this girl's like flirty kind of vibe and asked those kind of questions to the fighters? And it all just started clicking for me. So I ordered some like £30 microphones on Amazon. They were like really bad quality, and I went off to Telford for the week and stayed in the hotel. And at first, the microphones didn't come out of my bag for like the first few days. I was way too nervous to even tell anyone what I was doing because it was so far outside of my comfort zone. I'd never done anything like that. I'd never done that style of content. And the only people that do interviews at Fight Week is usually like men. Like there's not really any other girls that do it. So I was the only woman that would have been doing it. So I didn't actually record any of my interviews until the actual fight night. And I was having a tour of the arena with one of my friends. And one of the fighters, who's like a really, really big fighter for Misfits, he's called Slim. He's one of the best, actually. He like knocks everyone out. It's great. So he was in the arena at the same time, and I had my microphones in my pocket, and I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to do it. So I just kind of had to like push myself out of my comfort zone and ask him to do the interview, even though I was really nervous. I was like shaking while I was doing it. I actually didn't turn them on properly, but you could still kind of hear the audio. Anyway, so that was okay. Did an interview with him, and he was like, right, okay, yeah, like just post them all, like anything you get, post all the content tonight. So then I think because I did that first one, I then had the confidence to like interview a few of the other fighters as well. And then I was sat in the hotel after the fight, everyone was just like chilling, and I was just there like editing the content all night. Honestly, if you see me on a fight night at Misfits, I'll be sat there with headphones in, just like editing my content, not speaking to anyone, because you have to get the content online while the hype of the fight is high. It kind of goes like this and then it drops down. So I was like, right, uploading like 10 videos, didn't really check them, didn't think anything of it. The next morning I woke up and it had just all gone viral. Like all of them were on hundreds of thousands of views. And I was like, oh, okay, this is like really exciting. But then I was like, oh, there's not exactly going to be another Misfits fight like next week. Where am I going to take this next? And then that's where I moved more into the street side of content. And I did my first ever street interview with a guy that invited me down because that's the kind of content that he was doing, and we kind of planned to do a video together for a while. But when we first planned to do it, I wasn't doing my own content. So he was like, no, yeah, come down. You can meet like some of the other guys that I do content with. They like street interviewers as well. And we can help you, like teach you how to like get the videos. And then my video with him, the first ever street interview that I did, it got 60 million views. And I think that moment made me realize, okay, this is like seriously something that's meant for me now. It's something that I enjoy, and I found so much love and such a passion for that I never even expected, because I never expected to do this kind of content. I never thought that it would be for me, but now I just realize like it is just so me. I love it so much. And yeah, from there, that was like a year ago that I got that really viral video. From there, I've been able to make a career out of it.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I was going to say though, with all the Riz vids and that, have you ever actually been rizzed by like a stranger, TikToker, special guest in one of your videos?
Yeah.
Has it been led on from that outside of TikTok?
Yeah, so I think this is the big misconception with my videos. pretty much every single video is just like, how would I describe it? I wouldn't say fake.
Like banter.
But yeah, none of it is serious. I've only dated one of these guys. And I've only been interested in one of the guys that I've done interviews with. So I think that is a big misconception, because a lot of people, you know, will fall in love with the chemistry that I have with someone in a video and say that we're soulmates and really be rooting for us and want to know what's next. But it is purely for my audience's entertainment, and it's me kind of putting on a character. I think I somehow naturally kind of fall into that like flirty character quite easily. It comes quite naturally to me. I can be quite charming and have like riz, so to speak. But it's not real for me. I'm not actually interested in all of these guys. Like, I don't actually tend to date a lot at all. It takes a lot for me to even want to go on a date with someone.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you. So obviously your video with Gigs, that interview, I saw that. Yeah, and obviously you two were close, and he was like, "You're getting me nervous, girl." I was like, "All right, go on."
Yeah.
But firstly, actually, let me ask you: are you looking for a relationship right now?
Yeah.
Or
so
are you dating? Or
so I think I went through quite like a traumatic situationship like a year ago, which I've kind of been like on a healing journey from, and I have tried to like go on dates with other people and things, and some of them like I have ended up quite liking them, and it's not really worked out. But I think I've got to a place now where I realize more than ever I need to take time for myself and just to heal myself, and I just kind of want to be selfish for a while and not have to worry about anyone else. So I'm definitely not looking to actively date.
Yeah.
But if I did meet someone, I would never be opposed to that. And I think I'm at a point in my life now where the next person that I date, I want it to be a serious thing. Like I kind of say I'm dating to marry.
Yeah,
so if I was to
definitely.
meet someone, it would be like, it would have to be a serious thing. I don't do hookup culture. I don't do like casual dating kind of vibes.
No Hinge or any of that.
No, I don't. It's just not worth it for me. I get too emotionally invested in
You're a lover
someone.
girl. You're a lover
I am
girl.
such a lover girl, yeah. And I can't keep pouring myself into people that don't deserve it.
No, 100%. Firstly, yes. Secondly, it's so good that you're on a healing journey. I think people will jump from relationship to relationship, and so you congratulate yourself for that.
Thank you.
But thirdly, I asked that because obviously people see the outside, so they see the videos and take it as face value sometimes. And obviously you're doing Riz videos and stuff like that. Do you find like when you're doing that content, it can put maybe potential partners off at all?
Yeah, and I think that's another reason why I'm happy to sort of like be on my own at the moment and kind of be selfish. I want to do my content and I want to push that style of content at the moment because I know that it works for me. I know that my audience want to see it. And I think, you know, if I was to meet somebody, I 100% would adapt my content.
Okay.
It's not something that I would want to continue doing, even though it's not kind of like real and it is just for entertainment. It's just not, I think the way that I see a relationship is between two people for me, and that's something that's really special. So I would definitely adapt my content if I did meet someone. But at the space that I'm in at the moment, I'm almost like happy to be on my own so that I can continue doing it just for like a little bit longer until I am ready to meet someone.
Sometimes you just got to do that though, innit?
You have to sacrifice like a little bit of time to maybe make your like career happen or whatever before you're like ready to settle down, I guess.
We're in that beautiful time where you can swap and change. Do you know what I mean? You can make content like that. But I did want to follow up and ask, did Gigs ask you for your number? Like, have you got details now?
So me and Gigs, we are actually very good friends. He had like a Christmas drinks like party thing.
She getting
which was
invited to the exclusives.
It was really, really fun. It was honestly one of my favourite nights in London so far. And I met his son and all of his friends. And I would say that me and Gigs, you know, we're very good friends. And I have so much respect for him. I think the things that he's done in his career is amazing. And also as a father, as a person, he is one of the most amazing people that I've ever met. And I have a lot of time for him and a lot of respect.
Love that.
Sick. Obviously, you spoke before about, you know, your video going viral with Misfits, right?
Yeah.
So that's one of the first ones to go viral. But I wanted to know, like, what was your favourite video? But before you answer that, I think one of the ones that made me crease was the one you dressed up in like a wedding dress, holding up a sign saying, I want a rich man or something like that, innit?
Yeah.
But what was your favourite video?
So do you know what my favourite one to ever film? It was that kind of project where I basically dressed in a wedding dress with a veil and I had a sign saying looking for a rich husband. And the reason it was my favourite is because the girl that was shaking, scared to ask someone to do an interview, to now walking around London with a sign, with people staring at me. I had literally 10 paparazzi pull up and they started taking photos of me, which was crazy. I was not expecting that. Like, to have all of these people like looking at me, judging me, some of them giving me like encouragement and being kind. Obviously, you're going to get a lot of people that think it's weird, that give you hate. Just for me to have total blinkers on and honestly not care at all, to go from that girl to this, that's like wild to me. I never thought that I would develop into this person, and that's what street content has done for me. And I think that was my favorite video, because when I was doing it, I was literally running around just screaming, I'm having the time of my life. I've never had so much fun before in my life, and I just felt so free.
Some people might call it rejection therapy. Have you seen that? Some people
I was
lie down in the
this the other
street, do
day,
something mad, and then they'd be like, oh, why are you doing that? And they'd be like, oh, like, I've asked my therapist how do I cope with social anxiety. They go through rejection therapy, they do something daft in public to help them get used to that stuff. But have you ever done something a bit unorthodox?
Not at that level. I really take my hat off to you.
Crazy. I am unhinged.
Yeah, I saw that video myself, and I was like, you're so confident. I absolutely love it.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know, I stand on business.
Come on, like,
It
must have been a unhinged moment from Natalie.
I don't even know, yet to come. But you definitely inspired me. Like, just go do your thing. Just go out and do it. Like, people can talk, whatever. Someone can say no if you're going for an opportunity, but go and do it. I love that.
Yeah, because I think even if you're doing everything by the book and you're being the biggest people pleaser you can be in the whole world, which I have been before, I have been the biggest people pleaser. I'm still a recovering one right now. You can do everything right and people will still hate you. I still got bullied in school and I was the nicest girl to every single person. I would give and give and give so much of myself and people still hated me. So now, guess what? I'm going to do whatever I want. And if people want to judge me, if people want to hate me for that, then fine. Go for it, because I'm happy and I'm doing what I want to do and I'm not going to people please anymore.
No, I hear you, girl. Do your thing. But
go on, you go.
No.
I was going to say, what I like about your demeanor in this sort of like retrospect in this profession is that, like, obviously you've got you're pretty good academically, you've got a good memory and stuff like that, and obviously you know how to work your way around the industry, and that's why you've got the following that you've got. Do you think those skills correlate to knowing some of the secrets of going viral, if that makes sense? What have you learned, the do's and don'ts of what makes you more successful in TikTok compared to, let's say, us who don't really have a following on TikTok or barely even use it or know how to use it? What would you speak to us about? Speak to me like a 4-year-old. How would you use TikTok in it to get big?
So I mean, before I go into detail, I would say the biggest word that you need to have in your head if you want to be a content creator is adaptability. You have to be able to adapt and almost be able to learn to see things before they've kind of come to fruition. The people that are the biggest on TikTok now are the people that were doing it when it was cringy, when nobody really thought that it was going to be a big thing. And I feel like it's been that way. If you look at the pattern, it's been that way with every single social media. So the next one that comes along, even though it's going to be so cringy probably and people are going to think that it's embarrassing to jump on it at the start, if you can get in that early, that's when you're going to get the maximum growth. And unluckily for me, I didn't jump in early, and I feel like it's a lot harder to grow on social media now. So I think now, if you want to grow crazy numbers, it's about consistency. You have to post 3 to 5 times a day. If you really, really want to see the ultimate growth, you have to post across 5 different platforms, not just TikTok. You have to do YouTube Shorts, Snapchat Spotlights, Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels. What did I say? YouTube Shorts? And TikTok. Yeah, that's the 5th one, TikTok. So you have to be posting across as many different platforms as you can. And I think you have to now do something that's unique and going to make you stand out. Like, yes, I could go on the street and do regular kind of questions, but I almost feel like as if I have to be kind of a bit shocking. I have to have a bit of a shock factor. I have to do something that's going to push the boat out if I want to reach the success that I have in my head. Because I could obviously get comfortable at this level. Like, you can make good money having the number of followers that I have, but I've never been the sort of person that has like small dreams. Like, my dreams are like crazy big, and I am not even a fraction of as close to where I want to be, where I want to end up. And just being able to adapt, like, I had to go from doing the trends that everyone was doing to then trying something different. And you have to constantly push yourself outside of your comfort zone. Was it easy for me to go and stand in the street and have tons of people say no to doing an interview with me? No, of course it's not. But I just had to push myself to do it, even though it was uncomfortable. And I think that it's developed so much confidence for me now, and also discipline. You have to be so disciplined, even when there's times where I'm feeling like shit and I don't want to post and I'm depressed and I don't want to be putting myself online for people to hate on me. I still have to push myself to post consistently on those days, even though the last thing I want to do is put myself out there. I have to push past that, because if you don't do that, you'll end up taking too much time off. You'll lose kind of the momentum that you were building, and you kind of have to start from scratch. I think it can be hard, because when you build momentum, when you go viral, you can end up getting like an influx of hate, and it can get very overwhelming. But if you can push past that and carry on and see where you can take it next, that's when you'll really start to blow.
That's really interesting that you say that, because obviously there's different aspects to presenting, right?
Yeah.
Obviously mine's radio. I could be having the maddest day, the poorest of days. I could be feeling how you're feeling, but as soon as I step onto that mic, it's a game changer. It's different. I feel alive. I feel electric. It's brilliant.
Do you know what? I feel like this job, doing the street interviews, has forced me to get rid of all social anxiety. And the thing is, I find it so crazy when people do recognize me or they do ask for a photo. And when they do, because sometimes it'll be people will stare at me and I'll be like a bit weirded out, especially if it's a guy, because I'm like, oh, are they going to be creepy? But then if they come over and they say they recognize you from TikTok, oh my God, I get so excited. I literally like jump on people and give them a hug. And I'm like, oh my God, let's be best friends. Let's get some photos. Like, I absolutely love meeting people that have supported me, because that's what it's all about. That is what I do it for. And I think I could get 1,000 hate comments and I could be feeling so low. I could be not wanting to do TikTok anymore, not wanting to do content creation anymore. And then that day I'll meet somebody that gives me some recognition, or they recognize me from TikTok or whatever. They say that I'm doing a good job, and that literally fuels me to keep going. Like, especially at the Misfits Fight Week, actually. So that week I met some really important people that I had like admired on social media for such a long time. And some of these people came over, like shook my hand, and they were like, oh, like I've seen you on social media. I saw you on this, I saw you on that. Like what you're doing is amazing. Like I love what you're doing. Keep it up. And honestly, that means 1,000,000 times more to me than 1,000,000 hate comments could ever do to me. Like the feeling of somebody like recognizing the hard work that I'm putting in. Because I know people think content creation's easy, but I don't do anything with my life apart from content creation. I make my videos in the day, and then on a night I sit and edit. That's it. I don't have a life. I don't go out. I don't really like get to see my friends that much, because this is all I'm doing. So to get that like little bit of recognition, especially that week from people that I really aspire to be like and I really admire, that was such a heartwarming feeling. And I was on like cloud 9 after that.
Yeah,
that's good. No, it's good to have community and people, you know, recognizing what everyone's doing as well.
Yeah.
But I wanted to talk about some of your widely known videos.
Yeah.
So we love it. So some of your videos, you doing street questions, going up to people and kind of asking them, you know, men in particular, to buy you coffees. You even got someone to buy you an iPhone. When I saw that, I was like, okay. And even book a holiday. We love it. So when I'm looking at those videos, I'm like, first of all, you're confident. Absolutely love it. But do you feel like, are the videos like real? Are they fake? Is it a mixture of both? Like, do they know it's coming?
Yeah. So, I mean, I'll say this now for you guys. So it is a mixture of both. The ones where I go up and ask a guy to like buy me a coffee or like an item of food or something like that, those ones are real. So I do those for real. But the ones where I get a guy to buy me an iPhone or like a designer handbag or a perfume or a holiday, those ones are staged. And a lot of people kind of know that it's sort of a joke and that it is staged, but also there's quite a lot of people that think it's real. So I just want to clear that up.
I thought it was real.
I would feel too bad to let a random stranger buy me an iPhone. The coffee kind of ones, like, those are cute. And the thing is, I always offer to buy like the guy or whatever a coffee after that anyway. Like anyone that takes part in my videos, I always offer to buy them a coffee, or like if we're near like a bakery, I'll offer to buy them something just as a thank you, because I would not have my videos without the people in them. And I have so much respect for the people that are on, because you have to be on such good vibes to be in a street interview. Like, what kind of person actually gets in those videos? It's someone that's on good vibes, has good energy, or someone that wants to help me out and be kind. So I always have so much respect for the people that are in my videos. But yeah, with regards to like some of them being staged, yes, the ones where it's like extreme things are staged. And the coffee ones, they're real. And I do get nervous before I do them, but also it's just like a little bit of fun. Like, it's supposed to be jovial. It's supposed to be lighthearted. It's not supposed to be like a super serious thing where I think that I deserve all of these things.
Do you see some of them as like little skits then in your
I
own
would
sort of
I
way?
would best describe it as a skit or a social experiment. Yeah.
Because you do see a lot of them these days, don't you? Especially, you know, like the whole loyalty test thing.
Yeah,
I feel like half of those are fake.
The majority of street interviews are set up.
Yeah.
A lot of them are.
Okay.
You not see the
I didn't
loyalty
even
test
know
where
that.
some guy, like a New Yorker client, will go up to like this couple, be like, "Oh, how'd you meet?"
Oh, yeah.
Swap
Yeah.
phones. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, yeah.
Next
The
thing you
swap
know,
phones one,
he or she's
yeah.
been chatting to like six, 7, 8 man or women, and it's going mad, isn't it?
I would believe them, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I think it's hard. I think if you're in the social media space, there's kind of that rule. It's like whatever you see on social media, take it with a pinch of salt. Like not everything is real. But then I can also see why, you know, there are a lot of people that would think that it is legit and that it's real and that these guys are like actually buying me iPhones. But I think even if I could go and persuade a guy to buy me an iPhone, I would just feel too bad. Like, unless they're my man, I don't really want a guy to be like,
Of course,
buy me a present like that.
Yeah,
Especially because then the guy might like expect something in return, or I don't know, it opens up like a whole can of worms. So they are just supposed to be for entertainment, light-hearted skits, social experiments.
Has there been times where it's been a bit, not dangerous per se, but you've encountered someone that's just not like right, if that makes sense? And how have you dealt with that? And is making fake content harder than making authentic content?
I would say they're both just equally like on the same level, because like obviously when it's fake you can kind of play into that more, you can come up with ideas of what you want to say, and then the authentic stuff, it's like you just get to be yourself and it's like real. I guess the hardest part about street interviewing is actually going out and doing it, like with the equipment, logistically actually like setting it up, having the confidence to talk to members of the public and ask them to be part of it. I think that that's the hard part. The actual filming of the content, for me personally anyway, is the part where I thrive. I love doing that. And what was the original question?
The original one is
weirdos in the street.
Oh
Weirdos
yeah,
in the
weirdos in the
street,
street.
yeah.
So yeah, we get a lot of weirdos, and God, do I love them because it makes a viral video. I've never had someone that's made me feel scared for my safety. Honestly, when I watch my interviews back, and even when I'm editing them, all my friends say I'm just sat there with a massive smile on my face, because every interaction that I have with meeting someone new that's on this amazing vibe where they're up for being in a video is then captured as a memory forever. And that just makes me so happy. And I love watching my interviews back. And I don't know, even the weirdos, like they're my favorite interviews sometimes because they'll just say the most out of pocket thing. And I just find it hilarious. But I've never felt concerned for my safety. I feel like anyone agreeing to do a street interview is someone that's a really fun person, a really kind person.
Yeah, it sounds like you're made for this, honestly. You love it all, so I love that for you. But you kind of spoke about, you know, we've spoken about whether content is like fake or real.
Yeah.
And you kind of said like in the TikTok world, people know. So I would love to know a little bit more. I'm an outsider. TikTok
Yeah,
world,
we're-
so is
we're
Raj.
outsiders here,
So
man.
give us the inside scoop.
You'll never catch you doing a TikTok
Yeah.
dance out here, man. No.
What is the TikTok world like then, you know?
Yeah.
Being like friends with TikTokers? Do you have friends in the TikTok world?
Yeah, so I guess for like street interviews, it's not just like I can sit at home in my bedroom with a tripod and film my content. You kind of have to rely on other people. So on the street interview scene, like there is such a big community. And I'm not going to lie, there can be a lot of drama on this scene as well. Like someone doesn't like someone, then they're not allowed to film together. And it can be a bit crazy, but I love when we go out as a group to film, but definitely my favourite way to film is just to go out with one other person and then you get more done. I think the part that I sometimes find the hardest is like influencer events.
Sure.
That's where I
People have
find
spoken
that-
about this. Like some
Yeah.
YouTubers, obviously won't name them, but like just saying like, I like making content from my house. When I go to the event and you're seeing all these different faces and people are kind of like not being real, really.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a little bit pretentious because I've been to a couple as well. And it's like, I don't know, sometimes it's a bit clicky. Not
Very
always.
clicky,
Sometimes it's good
yeah.
vibes, good energy.
Yeah.
People are just there to have a good time at the end of the day. But like sometimes it's a bit like if you don't have a certain amount of followers,
they
won't
look
connect
down
with
on you.
And it's
Yeah,
like, bro,
and it is something I do find that like really sad, because I would always want to be so nice to someone, and like I just want to always lead with like kindness, no matter who they are, no matter whether they've got 0 followers, 1 million followers. Like I couldn't care who you are, I will treat people with the exact same amount of respect. But it really opened my eyes that not everybody is like that, and people will give you like really off weird energy. And sometimes I do think in my head, right, it's because I've not like got enough clout for you to be nice to me. But also, why would I even want to be friends with someone like that anyway? Why would I even want to exchange energy with someone that thinks that way? But do you know what? My favourite ever influencer event that I've been to, for that reason actually, because everyone was on good vibes, everyone was mixing with everyone. It was the Jack Wills Summer Mansion
I was thinking that. Was that
party.
Wavy and all them lot were there?
Yes, so it was the Jack Wills Summer Mansion party. It was like a pool party in the Cotswolds. People weren't just stood around like judging other people like and not wanting to be friends with you like some of the events. It was like a school trip kind of vibe. We all got like coaches there. We were all getting like drunk on the coach. And then when we got there, it was like a free like open bar. You could go into every room. So there'd be one room that would have like the bikinis. There would be one room that would have like pajamas. And like I've got a gorgeous Jack Wills dressing gown that I wear every single day. You get like slippers, you get scrunchies. They were doing like tooth jabs. It was just so fun. Oh my God, they had the most amazing food. Yeah. And everybody there was like jumping in the pool together. Like everyone was just mingling from all of these different circles. And I've never known an influencer event be kind of that collaborative before. Everyone was like getting in my interviews. Everyone was getting in pictures with each other. And I don't know what it was about that day, but it was just like the best day of summer.
Yeah, we love it. So you have done interviews with TikTok stars like Ed Matthews and Diego Day and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was jokes, man. I feel like even though you're very nice and stuff, I feel like you're low key like trying to like egg him on, like taking the mic a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah, I wanted the Ed Matthews experience, and I was like egging him on to like give it to me. And when he gave it to me, I was like, yes, this is what I wanted. But I'll always, of course, be polite to people, and
of course.
Yeah, I would never be like rude to someone in one of my interviews, like, or try and make somebody look bad. I would always want someone to look good, or, you know, I feel like he obviously plays into that kind of character.
He dishes out just as much. He's got to take it as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and I feel like he did humble me a little bit in that interview as well.
Yeah?
Yeah, he was like making like little digs at me, but I was like, do you know what? I needed it.
Fair enough. What was it like being on the Pearls, show and that? Because you said you've been on other, talk shows and things like that, discussing different topics, but you've also met some influential people, especially people like Pearl. So what was she like? What was her sort of vibe?
Do you know what? I'll put this out there. I do not agree with the majority of her opinions. Like, I'm very much like the other side of the coin,
so she's
I guess.
red pill, isn't it?
She's very red pill. And I understand, and I guess I am more traditional in the sense of like, my biggest goal in life is to be a mother and have kids. But I'm very much a feminist in the way that I believe in choice. So that shouldn't be the case for every single woman. Not every woman is going to want to do that as their like dream. And just because of the fact that I've realised I'm more traditional, that doesn't mean that I would ever judge anyone that wasn't.
Yeah, sure.
Whereas I feel like the red pill kind of shames women for wanting to be on their own and says, well, when you get to 40, you'll hit the wall and then you'll be devastated that you don't have kids. So I really don't agree with that. And also she does say that women shouldn't vote, which I said to her, do you really believe that though? And she was like, yeah, I do. And I was like, I don't know if I believe you or if you're just saying that. But her as a person, like views aside, she was always very polite to me. She was always very kind. And I can't fault her actually as like a person and her energy. And I admire her success a lot. She works very, very hard. And to be a woman in that male-dominated space, and also to be kind of taking advantage and playing into those kind of like incels, I guess, I kind of think it's a little bit iconic. Like, even though I don't agree with her, I do think that what she's doing, like, I do find quite a lot of admiration in that.
No, I hear you. But off of that, do you feel like, again, you're in the TikTok world, right? Yeah. You've seen it all. So do you feel like people these days are really having to do controversial stuff just to get views as well? Like, especially standing on like political views as much as she does as well.
Even streamers as well, I would say,
Yeah.
I not necessarily everybody. I don't think you have to take that route, but I think the people that do have some kind of genuine belief behind it that they're doing the right thing. Like, I think the stuff that she's putting out, she maybe doesn't realise the harm that it's having.
But she really believes it.
Because she really believes it. She really, really does, at her core, think that she's putting out a positive message into the world. And yes, maybe she plays up for the views sometimes, but I think the only people that are going to be comfortable doing that style of content are the people that believe it and that are happy to almost like profit off the controversial nature of it. Yeah. And also it's like the people that she's hating on, that she's getting on as guests, she wouldn't have a show without them. And that, not just her, it goes for like a lot of the other kind of red pill spaces. It's like the guys on Fresh and Fit. I just can't with them, because it's like they're hating on women, yet you wouldn't have success and you wouldn't have a show without women.
So, I mean, you wouldn't be alive without a woman.
Well, exactly.
Really? You were born like,
Actually, you're not wrong,
you know,
yeah.
so you might as well make a career out of it while you're there.
You came
Do you know
from
what
a
I mean?
woman. How can you hate them so much? And that's what I think the red pill, where the red pill space goes wrong, it really does promote this like hatred of
No,
women and this
100%.
misogyny. And it's like you can promote the ideas that you're wanting to promote without going down the route of hating women and
But that's what I'm
attacking us.
saying. Like, obviously, they might have some trauma there or whatever,
Yeah.
but I feel like you're being controversial for views.
They,
And
they
these
also,
days
they
it
also bring in
relies
a
on it.
demographic of women, like obviously they're OnlyFans chicks or porn stars, and I feel like obviously, you know, some of them obviously enjoy that profession, some of them are a bit vulnerable, a mixture of the two, but I feel like they're easy targets to kind of take the mick out of or
Yeah,
belittle
sure.
or make them look stupid,
Yeah.
etc. So that's probably what, do you know what I mean? Like you never see them bringing on a scientist
Yeah.
or a politician or someone that's a bit more.
You never see
arguably
them bring on
academic.
someone from the other side that is like an academic.
Yeah.
They only ever bring on academics when they're for the red pill kind of agenda.
Yeah.
So they're very
It's not
much spinning it
balanced
to
at all.
fit their narrative. And then that content that they're putting out is then influencing these impressionable young men that are then going to go on to develop this hatred towards women. So it can be a very toxic cycle. And I think that it can potentially do a lot more harm than they're realizing.
All right, cool. So listen, yeah, obviously you're always doing the street interviews. You're always the talk of the walk, the walk of the talk, or whatever you want to call it, right?
The chatterbox.
Yeah. Obviously, what we've done is we've quoted some questions that you've asked the public. So we're going to ask you those exact same questions and put it
no.
on you.
We're spinning
Yeah?
the block. We're
I
spinning.
feel like I'm going red now.
Yeah, how'd you feel? How'd you feel?
Nervous.
Yeah? Okay.
Embarrassed.
Okay. Right, we'll go with you, Nat, first, yeah? You're
All right,
telling me.
cool. So, do you think pretty privilege exists?
Yes, I do. I mean, we're all direct evidence of that.
Amen.
Really debatable, bro. But yeah, what do you think about that though in general? Like, because you talked about it briefly. So how does pretty privilege affect, I guess, you or people around
How
you?
does it benefit you? He's asking.
Yeah, do you know what? I think it's a double-edged sword. There's definitely benefits, right,
Yeah.
to being attractive. There's the halo effect. People, you know, if you are attractive, people instantly judge you as being a good person. That's like a psychological study that they've done.
Yeah.
But I also think that there are negatives to it as well. Like, it can mean that you get unwanted attention. It can mean that people become jealous of you and try to tear you down. That's definitely happened to me, like, throughout my life. I've had, like, groups of people, like, trying to tear me down. And I think I know that is a universal experience for a lot of attractive women. Like, you do inspire a lot of hatred towards you as well.
Where has pretty privilege got you? Like, give us a circumstance where you're like, okay, I didn't know, but okay, I'm here now.
There was a time actually where I was going to check into a hotel and
And they gave it the room for free.
not for free, but they gave me a free upgrade and they also gave me like a free coffee as well. There's been times where I think people have given me opportunities because I've kind of been able to like charm them and use the pretty privilege to my advantage. But also I don't know if it feels very fulfilling doing that. Like, I don't think that getting success because of your looks is necessarily a good thing. Like, yes, it gets you there, it might get your foot in the door, but then you're only ever going to be seen as that. And I think people that kind of coast off their looks their whole life, they can sometimes not understand what it's like to actually have to work hard for things. So it can
used
be
to
like
it.
a bit of like a reality check if they do have to then work hard for something, and then they're in panic mode because they're like, oh, I've just relied on my looks this whole time and not had to develop a personality. But I think because I was bullied in school, I did have to develop a personality and sense of humour. So luckily she's got both. She's the full package over here.
We love it.
We hear it. How much money is your bank account?
How much money? Well, after my £3,000 a month rent, not a lot. I am broke.
All right. What is a red flag in a guy that you secretly like?
Oh, when he's a narcissist. Oh my God. Honestly, this is another reason why I shouldn't date, because I just love toxic men. Like, I love the game. I find it so exciting. I'm just so attracted to the toxicity. It turns me on.
Really?
Which is a problem. I wish that I could like a nice
away.
guy. I wish that I could like a nice guy that loves me and is so nice to me. But no, I need the hot and cold. I need them to treat me like shit. Otherwise, I get bored.
Oh my
I
gosh.
think I need
feel
to heal.
So the next question was, what is the usual type of person you go for? But you've answered two in one there.
Yeah, like every guy that I end up falling in love with ends up being either a narcissist or just like a toxic, master manipulator.
Wow.
And I love it.
You're a soldier.
Manipulate me harder, baby.
Okay, cool. I feel like we go through seasons in life. And once you've had to heal for so long, you're going to be like, nah,
yeah.
one.
I hope I get to a stage where like the toxicity turns me off instead. And I think, do you know what? I'm getting there because I can say no to it. Like I don't let myself engage with it anymore.
Okay.
But I know like that a part of me is just like, oh, but I want to.
We're going to pray for you.
Please do. I need it. I need like an exorcism or something.
Okay. So you also do a thing where it's like guess your ethnicity. So you try and guess mine and Nats, and we'll try and guess yours.
I love
Bear in
that.
mind, well, we're mixed race.
Yeah. So is there like 2 different parts? Like how many?
Just 2 for me.
Just two for both. Yeah. So half European.
Yeah.
Is it like British?
No.
Germany.
I thought that, that would have come to mind.
So it's a place in Europe. This is the white side, right?
Yeah.
Give me a letter that it begins with. P. I was going to say Pakistan.
Pakistan. Jesus Christ, right.
P. Poland.
Poland. Yeah, Poland, yeah.
I never would have guessed
it's not
that.
It's Portugal.
Oh,
that makes
do you know
sense.
what? Portugal is so underrated. It is so beautiful there. The Algarve. Oh my goodness. The Benagil Caves. Wow.
You know more geography in Portugal than me, bro. I just know Lisbon.
She
that's
just went to Portugal just then in her mind, like the passion.
I know. I went on a holiday there. Mentally, I'm mentally in the Algarve, guys.
The other side is Trinidad.
Oh, amazing. Oh my God, that's so cool. That's like such a cool mixture as well.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
That.
Yeah. You got to guess Nats now.
So half is European.
Yeah.
The white half. And is it British?
Yeah, I think so.
Or like Irish or like somewhere
it's definitely
in the United
either
Kingdom?
British or Scottish.
Oh, okay, amazing. So somewhere in the UK. And then...
I don't know my geography. You do. I'm getting there.
And then the spicy side.
Oh, yeah.
The little spicy side. Is it somewhere in Africa?
Okay, where in Africa?
But is it yes or no?
Where in Africa?
North?
Oh, I thought you were going to call me an East African babe.
What,
so I was like,
East?
No. I'm Caribbean.
Oh, okay.
But
so
I want it to be East African.
Oh, amazing. So wait, whereabouts in the Caribbean?
Well,
or do I need to guess Jamaica?
Yeah.
Do you know what? That was my first thought. If you said no to Africa, I would have said Jamaica.
Okay.
So I basically got it in one.
All right.
Jamaican women, they're the most beautiful.
You know
now we've got to guess hers.
Right, what about you?
What about me? Oh, yeah,
you
do
one
you
race?
3.
You're 3.
Yeah.
So I do feel like there's some Asian in you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm thinking...
It's like Middle Eastern part of Asia, though.
Okay, makes sense. Dubai?
No. You're along the right kind of lines. You're along the right
Jordan.
lines. No.
Are you part Pakistani?
No.
It's given Jordan area, though, isn't it?
Yeah. I think. My geography is not great, guys. It's a very religious country.
Okay.
What about like Iraq?
No, but you kind of along the right... No.
Afghanistan?
You were closer with like Dubai kind of vibe.
Well, like Saudi?
Yes.
Okay, Saudi.
So that's 1 out of 3.
I'm guessing the other one's British.
No, but it is white. It's like technically British, but it's my mum is from this country, but it's not Britain.
What,
so it's spicy white.
So what, Commonwealth?
So basically, my mum was born there, but the people there are British. But I say that it's like
Australia.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, makes
Yeah.
sense. Makes
Saudi,
sense.
Australia,
But it's not technically like an ethnicity.
And then African, I feel.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Where in Africa though?
Oh, because you're mixed. It's so hard.
Yeah.
It's given Nigeria.
No.
It's given Sierra Leone.
No.
Morocco.
You're along the right lines. You're
Egypt.
Algeria.
Yeah. All right. That makes sense
You
for
guys
Saudi.
did a good job. Do you know what? I've had a couple of guys do that question with me, and they've guessed. I'm not even joking. Every country in the world. I said like, oh, there's pyramids there, and the guy goes
like,
Azerbaijan. I said there's kangaroos there, and he goes Egypt. Bless him.
Gosh.
He didn't have a clue.
Gosh.
It is
All right.
hard, though.
So, who do you think should lean in for a kiss, men or women?
Man, always. I just like a dominant guy, and I know that's not for every woman, but I just like the guy to lead.
Have you ever tried to make the first move?
In terms of like shooting a DM, yeah, like if there's like a hot guy, and I guess if the guy makes the first move and like follows me, then I would maybe like consider sliding in. But if like it's in real life, then no, I would always like let the guy come to me.
Do you prefer it if they lean in or they ask? Because I know some women find that a bit corny. when a guy asks?
It depends on the vibe.
Yeah, it does depend on the vibe.
Yeah.
I think the majority of the time I prefer it to be like that passionate moment where they just like grab you, but maybe
Giving that
doesn't
toxic
work
vibe
for
again.
everyone. Yeah, I know. She's on to me. She knows.
Okay,
Been there, girl. Been there. That's why.
Now, before I say the next one, bear in mind you've asked the public this, and this is what the concept is.
Yeah.
So, what is your body count?
Oh wow. Do you know what? I would never like actually say that to someone, but I will say that I view my body as like sacred. Like I really struggle to like give that part of myself to someone, especially like now because of some of the things that I've like been through with like narcissistic partners and stuff. I have to be like so 100% attracted to someone and feel safe with them and trust them to be able to like give that part of myself to someone, because I just view my body as so sacred, especially now that I've like worked on myself to this point. So I just don't tend to actually even date a lot as it is, unless the guy is, you know, it's someone super special that really has like a lot of the values that I'm looking for. I have to vet someone first, basically.
100%. How long is that vetting season for you, or that vetting stage?
Do you know what? It depends. Like, it can be quick sometimes if I really catch an amazing like vibe with someone, or it can be like a long time if I feel like I need longer to figure them out. Like I don't have like, I have to wait 10 dates before I sleep with someone. It really just depends on the vibe and that individual connection. There's been guys where I've felt like so connected to them and it's been the most amazing chemistry and I've, you know, loved everything about them, where I have wanted to like be with them really quickly. And, you know, sometimes I think that means that guys don't respect you as well, which can be difficult. But I just think if a guy is going to you over, it doesn't matter whether you sleep with them on the first date or the 10th date. If that's all they're after from you, then that's what's going to happen. It's not going to work out anyway. So I think it doesn't necessarily matter if it's a good guy and he's going to stay with you and he wants to be with you and he's prioritizing you and putting in effort. It doesn't really matter, like whether it's the first date, the 10th date, the 100th date. It doesn't necessarily matter.
All right. So what's your favourite and worst fashion trend?
Oh, I love this. I think my favourite one, I'm loving like it's called the Office Siren core. It's kind of like, it was like an autumn kind of trend. It was like a little pop of red, like court shoe with like a grey like skirt and like a blazer, that kind of vibe. I love that. It's kind of a shame because I feel like it's kind of died down now that it's summer, but I also love like the cottage core kind of vibe of like a little cute sundress. House of CB is one of my favourite brands it's the best one for that cottage core vibe. And then worst fashion trend, the only fashion trend that I don't like is the one where we judge other people for their fashion choices. If someone wants to dress down and look casual, great. But on the same thread, if that person that's dressing casual is then judging someone that's pushing fashion outside of the box, I don't like that. I think that we should let people wear whatever they want. Like, and if you want to be extreme and push the boat out, then we should support that.
Fair enough.
Love it.
There was one time that I was on ASOS and like
You have all the stories.
Not saying I was like, not saying I would buy it in it, yeah, but it's a bit of a mad. I mean, it's like what you said, wear what you want in it, yeah. But you know, like in like the swimming section for like boys in that, obviously you got your trunks, you got your speedos in it, yeah. But you got the one that literally just covers like the piece in it.
My gosh.
I'm like, yo, like, bro, I ain't wearing that.
Like, we need dignity still.
There's limits, surely,
yeah, there
right?
is limits. Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. If a guy like showed up without the beach, like someone's
Imagine though, like you think you're talking to a normal guy, like no red flags up until that point, and then he's just like, and you're like, I can't get out of this. I agreed to this date now. That's why I don't really go for dinner dates. Like first dates. Yeah.
So why is that?
Because if you say something mad in the first 20 minutes, I've got to sit through an hour and a half with you.
That's true.
Do you know what I mean? And I'm not someone to be like, okay, I'm just going to the toilet and you never hear from me again.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have the heart for that. So
you'd have to sit there.
Plus, when I'm enjoying my food, sometimes I eat like a toddler. So like, I probably
we all do, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I'll do spaghetti on the first date. Like,
that's the thing. We're animals. We're literally like animals. We're supposed to eat like animals, as long as you're not like being rude or like talking about like, full. Like, I'm never going to judge someone if they have a little bit of a mishap.
My granddad says I eat like a washing machine. So
I like
quote unquote.
If I'm ever wearing white, you can guarantee that I'm going to spill pasta sauce,
100%,
red, all down me.
100%. Yeah, I went on a date once and I had pasta and I spilled it down myself, but then he spilled his cocktail down himself. And I was like, we're in this together. We're in this together. It's fine.
Oh my God.
So what song would best describe or represent you that you would put on people's phone to let them think about you?
Oh, do you know what? I love doing this video so much. I did this like a year ago and I haven't done it in a long time. At the moment, I'm really going back to like my old school teenager kind of vibes, and it's become a really popular song again at the moment. It's Natasha Bedingfield, These Words. Do you know which one I mean?
Mate, tune.
Like, for some reason, whenever I listen to it, it just uplifts me. And it's the way that she's talking about how she doesn't know what to write, and she's like going to the studio and like trying to write like a classic, and talking about the struggle of that while you're listening to this song that is such a classic and that everybody knows. I don't know, it just kind of makes me, when I listen to it, feel like, okay, it's fine that things aren't perfect and they're not working out right now, because you're going to get there.
Yeah,
So I just
okay,
love it.
that's nice. That's nice.
It's very cheesy though.
What would yours be, Nat?
What, my song?
Yeah.
I don't know, you know. I'm really into like my church music, as you can imagine. But some of them are lit now. Like, it's like, you know, you have your...
gospel,
It's like
your
rock. Is it like
classics.
rock and stuff
No,
now?
it's more like, I don't even want to say like drill and trap and stuff like that, but they get in those kind of
Really?
like, where you're like, okay.
Oh my God, you need to send this
Do you know
to
what I
me.
mean? But they're
That
speaking
sounds
about
so
Jesus,
fun.
and you're like, okay. Like, do you know
I love that. I bet that's such like higher frequency than the usual like drill that we listen to.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. But I love it because you can like relate to it. Like not even drill, but just like songs that are just popping. Do you know what I mean? But they're actually speaking about, you know, God and
stuff that's important to
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
And it's like a positive message as well.
Yeah,
I saw this video of these kids in church rapping, and this guy was like, I put the devil in a spliff, and everyone just started moshing.
like,
in church.
yeah, it was like,
No, oh my
this is
God.
real though.
Maybe
Like,
I need to start coming to church with you guys.
yeah, man, you're very welcome. All right, so what's something that guy has done that annoys you, or what just annoys you? That guy.
Oh, I loved when I was doing these videos. Maybe I need to bring them back. You guys are giving me
bringing
like,
memories.
Memories
Yeah.
of that nostalgia.
memories. What's something that guys do that annoys you? Do you know what? That's a really difficult question because there's so many things. There's so many things that you can do that's going to annoy me. I think when they take their insecurities out on you. So I think there's definitely some guys that I've experienced, they see a beautiful woman that's successful, she's got her career going for her, she's intelligent, she's kind, she's got a lot going for her. And these guys, when they're insecure, they don't go for the girls that they see as weak. They go for the women that they see as strong. Then when they get her, they can't handle her. So what do? They try to humble her. They try to bring her down. And I think just a guy that's insecure in general just maybe shouldn't be dating until he's healed that within himself, because he's then projecting that onto other women, bringing them down and creating trauma for them.
And I think sometimes guys and girls like as well.
Yeah, it
it's
goes
like,
both ways.
When you're going through that as well, like they're putting you through that. Sometimes they can't see like the error of their ways. Do you know what I mean?
my
Sometimes
God.
you just
I
be a
could write
humble
book on
spirit.
this.
Like you should.
What would you guys describe as handle? Because I feel like it's a bit of a subjective term.
Yeah,
Because some
sure.
people be like, oh, he can't handle my attitude, or do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? That
sure.
sort of thing. So what would you guys describe as handle in a positive way?
You can
Okay.
go first.
No, I was just going to say, like, I think sometimes people don't realise, they know what they're getting into. And then, like, you go after a girl that's in her career doing stuff, like you said, like, you know, you're doing street interviews and so, with other guys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, like, they don't realise that actually they're asking more of you than they should be. And that way
Yeah.
they think that you're going to, like, settle down
Right.
and stuff
Yeah.
straight away. But when I think it's a two-way thing.
Yeah.
I think relationships are a two-way thing.
Because I think you've got to be sort of like adaptable and like willing to change. Like I said
Yeah.
earlier, if I like met a guy now that I really liked, I would stop doing the flirty stuff tomorrow. Like I would adapt my content because that's what's important to me. If someone was important to me, of course. But I think it has to be someone that you want to make that change for and want to
Yeah,
make. Because there's
definitely.
sacrifices on both sides. But yeah, in terms of like the word handle, I don't really like the idea of, you know, saying like, I think a lot of people say like, oh, I need a guy to like put me in my place and like to be able to handle this and that. I think it's more about getting yourself to a place where you can handle yourself, you've got yourself, and someone coming into your life is just an addition. They don't need to handle you. They don't need to put you in your place or sort you out or, you know, fix your life for you. They don't need to come along and save you because you've got yourself together and you've got your own things going
Yeah.
along. So I think, maybe it's not about being able to handle you. It's more being able to complement your life and also letting you shine and not trying to tear you down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a
A-star
man, would
answer
you,
that.
Yeah, as a man, what do you think then?
No, I assumed the same thing. I just know some people might see it a bit differently when it comes to the word handle. So I was just curious to know what you guys think of
I
it.
think there are people that see it that way, where they're like, I need a guy that can handle me being crazy and doing all of this and that. And it's like, but I feel like that kind of person isn't ready for a serious relationship.
Sure.
Because sometimes, like, for guys, it's like they'll encounter a beautiful woman, successful or not. They'll be like, oh, damn, I need to get my money up, or I need to do this, I need to do that, or damn, I don't drive yet. Do you know what I mean? I can't be a passenger prince. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm describing myself here. But like that sort of thing, right? So in retrospect, I think, I don't know, I mean, a guy can fall in love with a cashier at McDonald's, innit? Do you know what I mean? I don't think they're after anything. They're not asking you what handbag you're wearing or what car you drive or anything like that, innit? I think the way men perceive love is a lot differently.
I don't know though. I would challenge that. Yeah, I respect it.
There's different. It's subjective, if that makes sense.
There's a lot of guys that say, oh, I would have a girl from Starbucks, I would have this or that. But it's like the people that they're going for don't reflect that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of guys say like, oh, it matters more for us to have like these super high paying jobs and to be able to like be the provider. And like, we don't mind if the girl works at Starbucks. But I feel like that's not really what they want. Guys kind of want a woman that is successful and they want a woman that's confident and doing well for herself. Like, I think in the same way that a guy has to develop to get the girl that he wants, because like you say, not many girls are going to go for a guy that's like not able to drive or doesn't earn a certain amount, whatever. Like, there's a lot of women that won't go for that. But I think in the same vein, women also have to work on themselves to a point where they can meet a partner at that level. Like, I think you can't just expect to have a guy at the top if you've not also worked on yourself in your career, your fitness, your health, your mental well-being, your emotional regulation, whatever it is. I still think that women have to work on themselves to get the partner 100%. That they want as much as men do.
Yeah, 100%. And actually, I challenge it to say, actually, a lot of women do take on guys that aren't actually at the top as well. Like, I think the whole conversation right now is like, women want this, women want that. And it's actually like, no, if you actually look at the statistics, a lot of women will take on because they feel sorry for guys and they want to help them.
Do you think that relationship would work out though?
No, because I think if the guy is humble, I've seen it happen where the guy can be humble, he gets up on what he needs to do and handles it.
If it's like a partnership of growing together, like, I don't mind like building with someone, but they have to be ambitious.
The ambition. Yeah, definitely. But I think like some guys, what I've seen is that they'll kind of use that situation, not trying to like guy hate, but they'll use the situation and then they'll become a better man and leave the girl.
And then go
like they'll go and leave the girl. So that's like a little bit of a fear. I'm just like, oh my gosh, like what if I pick on a guy that I can really help and build up? And then you're just like,
fuck you over anyway.
But you see the signs because those are the ones that need healing as well.
Yeah.
Maybe
especially like sports players, especially athletes 100%. Or like rappers, innit? Like, they'll make it and then they'll just cheat them off.
Yeah, I'm not going to be that girl. Like, I'm the end result.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
For the guys
like,
that are already there. Because I think I've always said there's two options, right? You go for a guy that's already at the top, or you choose a horse, you bet on a horse, and you go for a guy that's ambitious, that you can build something 100%. Together.
I think there's so much more value always in that risk. I think there's so much value building up with someone.
I think you have to have that intuition to like
to know whether.
But I think as women we are very intuitive. Like, I think there's always going to be a part of you deep down that knows. Even if you don't.
Even if it's delusional. You know, like deep down, you know.
Deep down was in like, this guy's gonna be a bum or something like that.
No, like he's a
when he gets to the top,
and he's gonna.
And it's like sometimes people don't admit it to themselves until it's too late, though. But I think it's about being,
because you've invested, especially if you've done that whole project.
Oh my god, I'm doing charity work.
Like, you really help them, like mental health, spirituality.
You've been a Barbara the Builder.
Yeah, and then it's just like, oh gosh, imagine.
Yeah, I think that's why now there's this whole movement of women that are like, no, do you know what? I'm just picking one that's already at the top. Yeah. But I don't know, like, I still do believe in love, I guess, and I would love to like build something together with someone. I think 100%. It would be so much more rewarding than just picking a guy that's already successful, that's got loads of options, that's probably going to cheat on me.
Okay.
No, to be fair, like that's like a bit of a joke. I don't think that just because a guy's like at the top, he's going to cheat on you. But I think you just have to pick very well. It's the most important decision that we will ever make. You can literally take yourself.
That's the father of your children.
Yeah, and you can provide for like future generations a really comfortable 100%. Life if you choose wisely. Yeah, so I hate when guys say, "Oh, girls are gold diggers," because it's like, okay, first of all, you're only saying that because you're broke,
and you probably don't have money.
And second of all, like we kind of should be, because we should be picking someone that's going to mean our future generations are taken care of. All it takes is one decision that starts with us, and our whole lineage
I could really go into this
living
though,
great.
because if a woman has to be the breadwinner constantly, and it's not, that can break down like the actual family unit.
We're not meant to deal with the kind of stress that like men are, and I just want a soft life personally. I
And
want to be in my
some women
energy.
can, like some women can deal with that stress and they have that choice as well. But when you're burdened with that because I guess your husband or boyfriend isn't doing his share, then it's like, wow. Like,
I understand like situations happen and you might fall on hard times, whatever, and of course you stick by someone, but it's whether they have like the get up and go, whether they have the ambition to look for solutions to get you out of that. And I think that's why you can't just choose someone that's got money. You've got to choose someone with these really good core values and attributes as well.
It's such a mystery, isn't it, sometimes?
Because I just wonder, like, will I ever actually like find what I'm looking for?
Oh, you will, girl. Leave the toxic men and you will.
I know I need to get rid of the toxic ones.
Should we get into the next subject? Long story short, spin the wheel, innit? You got to spin one of those. It has one of the notes on here. You got to pick one off, right? And either you can answer them or you can take a drink, right? And there's 7 drinks to go with 7 notes. 5 of the drinks taste like crap. 2 of them taste all right, and they're numbered, right?
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm so bad with like drinking anything. No, I'll do it though. I will do it. But I'm just telling you, it's not going to be pretty. Yeah, it's not alcohol, right?
No. There's
okay,
no alcohol.
yeah.
There's no alcohol.
I'm a sober girly, but yeah, that's fine. Okay, shall I do the honours?
Yeah, do the honours. Do the honours.
Okay, so I pick. Which one is it? Is it in red
it's
or green?
the one in the red.
So this one?
Yeah, get that one. Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to take off the sticky note, if you.
What is a secret talent you have? A secret talent I have. Do I have to do it?
No.
I mean,
I know. I did gymnastics and like dancing when I was younger, so I can do like backflips, like the splits, stuff like that.
Okay, cool.
I guess that is actually a talent.
Yeah, do a
isn't
backflip now. Prove it.
Imagine, I'd be like cracking my head open. Oh god. Okay, do I do another one?
Let's go.
Okay, is that this one?
Yeah, it looks like blue. All right, what have we got?
Tell us something your mum doesn't know. Oh, okay. I did like a lot of like naughty things when I was a teenager. Okay, this is like one thing. So my parents were quite strict, obviously Middle Eastern household when I was a teenager. And I don't know which one to actually say, but because there's so many instances like this. But I used to always have to get my like friends' parents to lie for me that I was like sleeping over at their house so I could go out and be doing God knows what, drinking in a field, down in a full bottle of Glen's vodka. And oh my God, no, this is actually really bad. So we just moved out of our, we had like this lake house, which was really cute in York. We just moved out of it, but I still had the keys. There was no furniture in it or anything. So one night after a night out, I told my mum I was sleeping over at a friend's. One night after like an event in town, I invited like a few people to go back. There ended up being like 200 people that came. People were like jumping in the lake, going crazy. The estate agent pulled up in the morning. Bearing in mind, it was just full of teenagers, like drinking up to God knows what.
Project X, man.
Yeah, no, the estate agent pulled up in the morning. It was the craziest like party in York, York of all places. Yeah. Honestly, anyone from York knows about that night. Trust me, like that was wild.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It was crazy, and just the estate agent pulling up in the morning, like to show someone around the house.
Wow.
I was like, oh wow, I'm in shit.
Everyone's had a party like that, man. I remember one of my friends, James, had one. Invited like 30 people, 300 people came. And obviously, because he lives in like a decent house, people raided all of his stuff. Wow. The house was messy. Bro, it was crazy. I had 2 people thrown up in the bathtub. I had someone weeing in the shower. And I had someone, like a girl sitting on a sink, weeing in the sink in it. And like, that's how mad it was. People were drawn over the walls. They had like 5K's worth of like wine in like a cellar that got drunk. Like it was mental.
Oh no, it was so funny because obviously this lake house was in quite a remote part of York, like one of the villages. And so in the morning when we all got kicked out of the house, there was just like, 100 teenagers sat in a field waiting for like a bus that only comes every 4 hours. And there was also a boat to town, and one of my friends got on the boat to town at 10 a.m.
Country stories, like did you ride like I don't know, like a pig or something? Like who rode like
we
the
went
lambs?
And wrangled a cow. British countryside.
That's so funny. I just love how you weren't even meant to be, like your story is crazy, but how you weren't even meant to be in the house.
Be in there. I know. I'm pretty sure that was illegal. I'm pretty sure it was illegal. So please don't.
I mean, you were a teen, so you're like,
let me in juvie. Oh my God.
That's
Okay,
so funny.
moving on.
All right,
I'm
next
sorry,
one,
Mum,
next
by the
one.
way. I'm sorry, Mum.
Just go pick the one that goes close to it.
So is it this one?
Yeah, go for it.
Let's do it.
Let us randomly text anyone on your phone with the words "I love you." Oh my God, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. That's
So do you save
funny.
people like on your phone with emojis?
Some of them, yeah.
All right, let's do
No,
those ones.
this is really dangerous. Okay, here we go. This is going to be quite insightful. You're going to see into my contacts.
Who should we pick?
Whatever you do, don't just make sure it's not the toxic ex, because
Brokey.
Brokey.
It's Brokey.
Oh wait, no, Brookie. That's
Who's-
Brookie.
who's-
Yeah, she's one of my
who's
friends.
Weird boy?
Oh, that was a guy I was in love with when I was like 16.
Why is he called Weird
tell him I
Boy?
love
He
him.
was in love with him then.
That was like my nickname for him.
Okay.
It was like a little 16-year-old thing.
Ed Matthews.
Yeah, go for it. I don't care.
Yo, can I read the two messages?
What, who is it?
He put,
What did you-
there's only two messages, and he put, yeah, you're sexy. And then she just replied, our interview will be good.
Just straight to the point. Career woman.
Business
Stand
first,
on
guys.
business. What?
I put, I love you.
No, that's a joke.
No.
Right, we've done it.
Guys, they
I'm really-
texted Ed
He's going to
Matthews.
be so
He's got a
gassed.
girlfriend.
No, he's going to be so gassed.
I
He's
just
gonna
love
be
how it's like, yeah, you're
Oh my
sexy. No, you're not. I love you.
Oh my God. I was straight to business,
He's
wasn't
gonna,
I?
when he gets that message, he's going to be like, oh yeah, she's not standing on business anymore. She's ready.
He's going to think I want to hold his word. Oh my
Let's go,
God.
let's go.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Have you ever gotten with anyone famous? I'm gonna have to drink for this one.
All right, she's picking 6. Oh no,
Yeah,
1.
I'm gonna go this one. This one looks right. Do I have to drink like the whole thing?
Just take enough to gulp it.
Oh, it was nice.
It was a nice
Yeah?
one. Okay,
Yeah.
cool, cool,
All right,
cool,
It
cool,
tastes
cool.
kind of like alcohol, but it's not, right?
It's not, no. If it's,
Oh my God.
it's just cranberry.
Can I have some more? Preventing those UTIs.
Women formulas. We got it.
Here we go. Sorry, I'm like coughing. Name a TikToker you don't like. Oh, I could go
We're
into
gonna see.
so many
We're gonna see if
directions.
Layla's really the nice girl after all.
Who can I say? I'm trying to think. Who's done me dirty in an interview?
Who do you not like? Who do you find cringe or whatever in it?
Who do I
Bad
find
vibes.
cringe? Who don't I like? Who do I find cringe?
Just say username. You don't have to say their full name, the government name.
Ed Matthews.
Okay, fair enough. Got away with that
I
one.
love you. I also don't like you.
He's already been thrown in the dirt in this.
His name's been dragged through the mud here.
It'll boost the algorithm anyway.
Yeah, I'm just saying it for the clout, guys. Okay. Name the last 3 things on your internet history. Do you want me to actually read it out or like guess?
Read it out.
Read it out. Okay. Do you know what? I will.
I bet you it's nothing crazy. It's
Yeah.
probably like
Yeah.
gardening or something crazy. I don't know.
Well, at least we're
Shopping.
not on the private browser.
Or Chihuahua. The what? Oh, what? You on the...
I'm
I don't even know
What's
about
that
that.
Google thing
browser.
called? Where you hide yourself and it goes grey.
Incognito.
Incognito.
Yeah.
Do you use incognito?
Yeah, sometimes.
Oh, mad thing.
We'll leave that one there.
Yeah. Okay, so one of them is 5'2", 112 pounds. What's my BMI? The next one is Amazon. I did an Amazon shop. I want to find a funny one. Let me like scroll down to find a funny one. What have I Googled? What have I Googled that's funny? God, I Google such boring stuff. God, I really am boring.
Adulting.
How much is a private jet?
Check you out.
We love it.
How much is one?
Anywhere between like, where does it say? Oh, this was to actually purchase one. So 2 million to over 100 million. Anyone got a spare 2 mil in the bank?
Jesus.
Oh, should I do one more?
Oh, it's just the one more.
You know what? We better do it anyway. Who do you love more, your mum or dad?
Oh. You have to drink if you if you can't.
Yeah, I love them both. I'm gonna have to just drink. Okay. Scared this is gonna be bad. Okay. Saved by the cranberries again.
We love it.
Yay! It's quite nice as well. But cranberry juice has like a lot of sugar in, doesn't it?
I think so.
Oh well.
I think so. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
So we've gotten to know you.
Yes.
What would you say that people don't know enough about you? Obviously, they see you on TikTok and everything on their screens, but what about you?
Because obviously I think I come across as like confident and stuff on social media, which I am. Like I think that confidence is a skill that anyone can develop, but you have to push yourself outside your comfort zone. But I just wasn't always like this. I was very quite a timid person. I would be scared to speak to people, especially when I was like a lot younger. I really, really cared what people thought about me, and it makes me really sad how I kind of I guess I kind of got crushed under the weight of like other people's expectations and their opinions of me to the point where I could never really be like fully myself. And I am just quite like an introverted person. Like I love time on my own so much. Like I love spending time with myself. I love doing solo dates. I definitely feel the most at peace when I'm on my own, which maybe you wouldn't expect that if you looked at my social media, saw that I'm extroverted, always talking to people. And I do love that side of myself as well. But I'm definitely happiest when it's just me in my apartment with my dog, reading a book, watching Netflix, making a nice dinner. That's like my happy space.
Yeah.
What does Layla like to eat and stuff as well? Like if you want to come down with me, what will be your start or main or dessert?
I've been waiting for this moment my whole life. Do you know what? I love cooking Italian food, but I make everything from scratch. Like if I have the time.
Like Nara Smith and all that.
Nara Smith is my like goals. Like I want to be a Nara Smith mum. That is like my goal in life. Like I would love to make like pasta from scratch for like the main.
Gum from scratch.
Yeah. Yeah, literally she makes everything from scratch. I think for the main I definitely make some kind of like tomatoey pasta dish, but with the pasta made from scratch, or like a ravioli or something. Dessert would be my grandma's apple crumble. It is the most insane apple crumble ever, and I feel like it's a very underrated dessert.
Definitely. And sticky toffee pudding.
Oh
Can
my
we
God,
talk about that?
Love that.
Found
so
that recently
good.
more so, and I was like, I ordered like 5 from delivery after that day.
Oh my God, I'm such a dessert girl. Like if there is a dessert on the menu, I will be getting it, especially if it's a chocolate cake. And then for starter, I'd maybe bake some like fresh bread. I make arancini from scratch. I've made that before so many times. It's like risotto, but in like a breadcrumb, like fried breadcrumb thing. It's like Italian. It's so good. Italian is my favorite kind of food to make. But in my day-to-day life, I do eat quite healthy. So I have pasta a couple of times a week. But I mostly eat quite like single ingredient foods. Like I'll have some meat to get my protein and some veg, and then like, some nice carbs and... Yeah, like I eat like very like basic foods, I guess, just while I'm like training in the gym.
Definitely. Yeah, I like to cook like Caribbean food as well.
Oh my God.
But like not all the time. Yeah. I'm like you, like in the week, who's got time?
I know.
Do you know what I mean? Like
I've got time to be Nara Smith.
So I completely get that. Like keep it healthy.
Like friends and family, I go all out. I'll be like making everything from
Yeah.
scratch. But for myself, I just keep it
It's
simple
so
and
therapeutic
easy.
as well. Do you find it therapeutic?
Yeah, because some people get stressed out cooking, but it honestly relaxes me so much. Like if I'm feeling stressed, my ex-boyfriend used to always tell me, like when I was stressing out, I'd be like, right, just
go cook.
Cook a meal. Not even in that way, but he would tell me to do it because he knew that I would feel like a million times better because I get in the zone, I'm concentrating on
100%.
it. My like crazy thoughts aren't taken over. I'm just focusing on the cooking. So that's why when people are like, oh, like what, you just want to be a stay-at-home mum that like cooks for your like husband and your kids. I'm like, yes, that's my literal dream.
For me, it's probably Mexican food. I do love Mexican food, like Latina kind of food. That goes. I do love Caribbean food as well, but jarring to make sometimes.
Really? I find it easy.
Not as in like long, bro. Not as in difficult.
Yeah, like the process.
I
think you and I, we both like the process.
Yeah. But also, I compare it to African food, and African food is long.
Oh, really?
Like I feel like Caribbean food is quite fresh, and you can just mix it up and then. But like,
because a lot of stuff you can like do it in the pan, can't you?
Yeah, exactly.
What I want to get into next, so Layla, like, what would you say is next for you? Because you said this isn't the ceiling in your career.
Yeah.
You want to get into TV and things like that. What are the steps you're going to plan on taking to endorse that?
Yeah, so I think at the moment, like, I still feel as though I'm quite a small creator in a lot of ways. So I think I want to carry on like building my following, building my audience. I want to figure out a way to do content where, you know, I'll always do the entertaining stuff because that's what I've built my platform with and people look to me for entertainment. But I would love to be able to sort of get to a place where I can spread more of like a positive message and make more of a difference. That's like such a big goal for me, to be able to kind of create more meaningful content as well. And I think with regards to like going into TV, like I would love to get more into like the presenting side of things, but I think I find it hard to sort of strike a balance between the professionalism and being able to grow a following and still being able to be entertaining while being super professional, so that, you know, these like TV companies would want to work with me. I think when you're already at a certain level, you kind of have a bit more leeway to be able to be a little bit less PG and a little bit more yourself, but I've definitely had to move towards being a lot more brand friendly and a lot more PG. And as I've done that, I've found that, you know, a lot more brands are willing to work with me. But it's all about adaptability. Like, I think as a content creator, that is the most important thing. So I just hope to keep sort of evolving with the times and with the version of myself that I see myself being next. I don't tend to think like super long term. I just sort of take things one step at a time. Otherwise it's like overwhelming.
Yeah. If you want to be a CBeebies presenter, just say it, innit?
That's the thing. It's like, I'm never going to be CBeebies, but I also, there is a limit as well.
Yeah.
So it's like, I have to strike that balance and meet somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
I love
Okay,
it.
fair
Do you ever
enough.
see yourself going over to the US and doing
Oh my
work?
God, I would love to.
Yeah.
That's like a dream. That's
Yeah.
definitely
The way they make content for TikTok and streaming, it's crazy.
It's crazy over there, but the thing is, I'm like a tiny grain of sand compared to the people over there. Like, they have huge like people that do presenting and all those kind of opportunities, so I think it's a lot more competitive. So I definitely need to like conquer the UK scene first before I think about going over there. But definitely one of my goals, I just always like see it in my head, looking out, you know, those gorgeous houses in Beverly Hills that are on Selling Sunset. I have one of those with like a pool and my dog running around and my husband, and that's like my like dream that I have in my head.
Yeah, we love it.
Got to get
You'll
that green
definitely
card,
get there.
fam.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my American husband.
Before we close the show, right? Obviously, again, you know, you're always so much full of questions. That's what you're known for, right? So what do you want to ask our audience right now so that they can answer it in the comments?
Oh, that's a really good question, you know. Do you have like a kind of like subject?
Anything that you want to ask our audience, anything that you want to
I
ask the
wanna
people that are listening to
them.
Naitram Live right now, what do you want to ask them so they can write down in the comments?
Okay. Would you guys say that you think that content creation is easy? Do you think it's like an easier job than say like going and working on a construction site or doing like a regular 9 to 5? Do you think that the job of content creation is easy, or would you say that it comes with some difficulties as well? Because I think there can be a lot of misconceptions around it. So I would really like to know, like, do the public actually think that it's an easy job to do?
Yeah.
Or is it easier?
Or
Like,
is
which
it
one's
just easier? Like, which one would they pick? Because I guess with like manual labor jobs, that is, of course, more physically difficult than standing in the street with a microphone. But in terms of the mental side of it and getting past people's opinions, getting past hate, forcing yourself to post and put yourself out there when you don't feel like it, is that
100%.
potentially more
and
difficult
also,
in that way?
when you're doing like content creation, there's not a sure paycheck.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah,
Like, you're
yeah.
doing all of this
and
and
there's
it
also
could-
not a sure route.
Yeah,
like you can look at what other people have done, but everyone's route is going to be so individual. Whereas if you want to be a doctor, these are the steps you have to take to get there, and it's very much laid out for you.
I feel like we're answering the question though. So you let us
It's up to
know.
you. It's up to you.
Definitely. Layla, thank you so much for coming here on Naitram Live.
Oh,
We
it was
really
my
appreciate
pleasure.
it. We wish
Thank
you
you
the best and keep
guys.
striving, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Make sure you write down in the description to the answer, like, what do you think of content creation? Is it easy? Is it difficult?
100%.
Let us know. And we'll see you on the next one.
Bye, guys. Oh, thank you for having me.
All right.
Oh, that was so fun. Thank you, guys. Woo!